First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Detroit Lions. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Carr. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. Hurry, get set, Hurry. 808.
And they'll try the running game here with the running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Later, two. Right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Later, two.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, 7:34.
Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Emmanuel Sanders, 61 yards. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Big 20. Hey, go here.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And here's Marshall. Room to run past midfield. Fighting his way through contact. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A big run there. 29 yards and a 1st.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Now the Notre Dame man is Espio with it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run with Marshall. He's to the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Riddick with a carry. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Play action. Stafford. They'll roll him out right. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones from 6 yards away. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Prater for the extra point. And this is now a 1-point game. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
6:37.
Here's Carr to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in the zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
93.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Carr now on 1st down. It'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the guns. Oh, and now he bowls him over, and he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So I just... Brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's complete to Sanders. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Eluding the pressure right, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Keep it tested on the ground.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Marshall. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Taking it in from the 20, and the Lions are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Now Carr throwing on second down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Well, you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, 7:34.
On play action. Now Carr. And now he'll tuck it and run. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Find out.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. throw with Carr. Being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now Carr maybe with a free play. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Stafford. And the Raiders have got him. Chris Long in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
It's taken to the 26. Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And they'll run it here. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this third quarter. It's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Caught by Nelson left side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. 21. A shotgun snap for Stafford. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
OP.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Play action. Now it's Carr. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. That'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Monday down.
On second down, here's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Okay, Paul, we got 4. We got 4. Let's go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this third quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. The Raiders on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now a handoff looking right. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So out now come the Lions. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He finds Riddick complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Out of the gun, Stafford. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and that'll make it second and goal.
Hey, 22! Hey.
He'll get it up the middle. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on first down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Carr going to throw here. This is caught with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. This one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.